Hey everyone, and welcome to another GTA Online Tier 4 challenge guide for the career progress. Today I'll be showing you how to best complete the Diamond Casino Tier 4 challenge. This one's quite a big one. So really, as you go along, you will complete the Tier 1, 2, and 3 challenges as you go for the Tier 4, but real quick, we'll just go over them right now. So Tier 1, you need to visit the Diamond Casino, purchase a penthouse, and visit Agatha Baker, and complete Loose Chang, all of which you will easily do if you just grind for Tier 4. Tier 2, you have to complete Cashing Out, which is the final mission in the Casino Strand, recover the bonus item after that mission, which is the free Armored Paragon, and complete one casino work for Agatha, which is the work you get when you call Agatha in free mode. For Tier 3, you have to complete all the different variations of the Agatha Baker free mode work, complete the casino story missions on hard difficulty, and take out Avery's bodyguards without being spotted in Cashing Out. And finally, the Tier 4 challenge, you need to get all 11 Platinum Awards, which should be easy except for the one where you have to complete all missions as a crew member, so you're gonna need another player to get that one. Complete all casino story missions on hard difficulty, taking 50% damage or less. Complete them on hard difficulty only using pistols, our favorite challenges, those two. And complete 100 casino work missions for Agatha Baker. Going back to the Tier 3, you will definitely come across most variations of the casino work as you grind for the 100 for the Tier 4. However, there are two that you will have to get deliberately. The first one, you have to drink a Macbeth whiskey shot specifically at the casino bar, and with luck you will spawn in outside and the mission will start up from there. It's the one where you have to drive a truck all the way back while you're drunk, or just waking up from being passed out. This will take you some tries to get because it's basically all about chance. And the second one, you have to get drunk while outside the casino and call Agatha while you are drunk for a free mode work, and she will task you with driving a car back to the casino while you're drunk, avoiding the cops along the way. You'll know when you got it when the mission name is under the influence. So if you're stuck at 11, those two should give you the 13. Rockstar did remove one of the Agatha Baker free mode missions where you defend the casino from enemies because of the introduction of the music locker. But even without that one, as well as the one-time mission with the helicopter where you have to answer every Agatha call, I was able to complete 13 here, so you should as well. Now for the mission challenges, my strategies that I cover here are for completing them while solo, and we're also going to attempt to get both challenges done in one mission run. But if you take multiple runs, that's also entirely fine, especially on Bad Beat. That one will take years off your life in frustration. However, some of them might be a bit too hard solo as well. I'll let you know when I recommend more players for them. One last thing, I highly recommend you to complete the Weapons Expert Tier 4 challenge because the Speedo Custom PV you get from that Tier 4 will help you out a lot here. And without further ado, let's get into the missions. The first one, Loose Chang, we're gonna hop in our trusty Speedo Custom PV. Now this is a nifty little tool here because for the pistol challenge, vehicle weapons normally will void it. Things like machine guns on the Vigilante or missiles on the Vigilante. However, the remote turret on top of the Speedo Custom does not void the pistol challenge, so you can fire away at the enemies and use it to kill them. And another plus about this vehicle is that it has bullet-resistant windows and is fully protected from the back from bullets. However, what you need to be aware of is any kill you get from an explosion of some sort, even if it's caused by the pistol, will also void the challenge, so do not shoot explosive barrels or anything like that. Don't shoot a car so much that it blows up and kills someone, that kind of thing. So basically for this mission, we're just going to go up to the enemies with our back towards them and shoot as many as we can with the remote turret. Take your time with this because eventually you're going to have to hop out and search for Tao Cheng on foot, and you want the least amount of enemies possible when you go do this. When you rescue Tao, you will need to hurry up and get in the van if you want to seal the 50% damage challenge because more enemies will end up spawning in, and if you're not fast enough, you will have to take them out all with a pistol. But if you are fast enough to get in the van, you can just drive away. And again, be careful shooting at the enemy vehicles with the turret because if you blow it up and the explosion kills someone, it will void the challenge. But from there, you just have to drive back to the casino, which should be fairly easy because the car has a lot of bullet protection. The second mission, Housekeeping, is probably the easiest one. Be careful being too aggressive with your melee combat in the beginning. You don't want to take damage from easily avoidable hits. And for the car chase, instead of taking the bikes, just call in the good old Speedo Custom again. Most likely what will happen is the car will arrive at the destination, to which you will have to just do what you did for Loose Chang and back up to the enemies and blast them with the Speedo Custom. And once you have the Thrax and your health is still above half, you should be good to go for the rest of the mission. For this one, you probably could get away with using the Armored Kuruma as well. That's also a good strategy. Strong arm tactics, the 50% damage run is going to be very difficult solo, I'm afraid to say. You can do the pistol only challenge solo using the Speedo Custom again, but you just get shot way too much on the getaway here. I suppose if you got a very clean run without taking any damage on the first part, you might be okay, but you get shot a lot on the getaway portion because you have to drive the slow vehicle they give you that has no protection from bullets. So if you have more players, you can have them deliver Tao Cheng and the translator, which will take the heat off of you, so you don't take damage on that part. It makes it a lot easier. But this definitely isn't the hardest mission. We have yet to get to that one. It's still just quite difficult though. What is the hardest mission is Bad Beat. If you're trying to do this mission solo while taking 50% less damage, it is near impossible. The pistol challenge is possible solo, but you are so prone to taking damage by the many sources on this mission, so it's really just not worth trying to do the damage one solo, especially when just one rapid fire bug from one enemy can ruin your entire run. If you are going to try it though, and this will also be my recommendation for the pistol challenge too, you need to use cover 99% of the time. At the first part, you should stay near the restroom area like I am here. This is very good cover for the entire first section. And switch up your pistol usage too. Don't just use the AP pistol. I recommend the Navy Revolver as it does not have a damage drop off range. So from close range up until the very max range it has, it's going to do the same amount of damage, which is not the case for any other pistol in the game. However, if you don't have the Navy Revolver, because that one requires doing like a treasure hunt to get it, the Pistol 50 is a good choice, or the Hollow Point Revolver as well. When shooting down helicopters, you have to make sure you kill everyone in the helicopter first, or let everyone rappel down before shooting the pilot out. And then you have to hope the helicopter doesn't crash and kill someone else in the explosion, because that will avoid the pistol challenge. And you also want to preserve as many of your snacks as possible. I guess if you're going for the 50% damage run, this doesn't really apply, but for the pistol challenge, you definitely want to preserve your snacks. When you move up, just avoid the enemies on the far right hand side for now and move up to the pool area. The enemies on the other side of the pool, however, you need to take out. One has an assault shotgun who will mess you up big time. If you peek a certain way, you can auto-aim them and get a shot really quickly on them. And that's what I recommend doing. Assisted aim full is also highly recommended here. Coming around the other side of the casino, just kind of peek around like I'm doing here. I recommend the Navy Revolver here because of the long damage range it has. If you peek a certain way, the enemies are not going to be able to shoot you, but you can shoot them. And just stay here a while until most of the enemies stop rushing towards cover that is close to you so that you can move up instead. For the helicopter in this part, you shouldn't shoot it down until most other enemies on this floor are dead because, again, you don't want the helicopter to crash and kill someone else. It's truly a pain in the ass, so you have to think about these things. The next piece of cover you should use is right here, mostly head glitching behind the center here rather than hugging the edge to take out enemies that are very long range. There's a guy with a combat MG that blind fires from like a mile away and he will fuck you up if you're not careful. When you do move up in this situation, stick to the wall so you don't get shot from the enemies that are on the upper roof also.
I need a medic. We got a man down.
And when you get to the upper roof, you can cheese the Juggernaut by corner peeking. I hit him with some shots to the elbow and killed him without him ever firing his gun at me. And then there's just a few more enemies here to take out on this floor, and you're basically done after that. But be careful, the enemies that you didn't initially take out on the lower right side of the casino from the very beginning can shoot you from the spot, so just be careful about that. And that should do it for Bad Beat, the pistol challenge solo. Again, I do recommend for the 50% damage challenge, bring other players and have them do all the work while you sit in the back. No matter how carefully you are, doing this mission with this many enemies and trying not to take damage is just too much. It's near impossible to do. I'm sure someone has done it, but it's just not worth the time investment. It's a lot less stressful to just get a group to help you out with it. That brings us to another mission that is a huge pain in the ass, play to win. Alright, so you have to think in a very certain way to complete the challenges for this mission. For the pistols only challenge, you can only blow up the tanker itself with the pistol if anyone else dies in the blast, meaning the cab attached to the trailer itself, or any NPCs that may be around it in the blast radius, whether they be enemies or not, that will avoid the challenge. Some of you maybe have seen the method where you drown each tanker. That method is slower than the one that I'm going to show you here, but you are going to need some tools. You're going to need an FMJ Pistol Mark II or an FMJ SNS Pistol Mark II, and two vehicles, the Half-Track and the Monstrosity. First up is the Monstrosity. It's fast, offers some protection from the back from bullets, and that's all there is to it. That's why I prefer it here. However, you can use an Armored Kuruma, and it probably would work out just fine too. The first truck we're pulling up to is D. Whip around your vehicle so that you're in front of them with your back facing them. Take out your FMJ pistol and headshot the driver. It should be a one-shot kill. And the reason you need FMJ is because these cabs are Phantom Customs, which have bullet-resistant windows, which won't break right away without FMJ. Once all the enemies are cleared out around the truck, hop out of your car and into the truck cab, go to a secluded place, disconnect the truck cab, drive the cab away, and blow up the tanker while it's alone from everything else. And once you do that, just hop back into your vehicle and head to the next one. And we're going to do the same thing for this one, pulling in front of the truck and shooting the driver with an FMJ round. I messed up here and the truck sped off. It is crucial that you hit your shots because shooting the truck cab windows severely damages the truck, especially with FMJ bullets. You can already see it smoking just from shooting it a couple of times here. I did, however, luck out and managed to push the vehicle off the side of the highway, which left the tanker separated in a secluded area already for me to shoot it just from it landing, and the cab just drove off somewhere else. Tanker C is fairly easy, just take out the 2 enemies guarding it and then blow up the tanker. And for tanker B, this one is also in a static position, which makes it easier. However, you will need to move the cab out of the way before you do anything so you don't blow that up in the process. Now, before you proceed to the LS State Gas Company, this is where you call in the next vehicle, the half-track. The reason we're using the half-track here is that the half-track has full bullet protection from the front and back, and is protected from missile explosions. So the only places you can get shot are from the sides, which you can position yourself to avoid getting shot from. The explosive protection will help with the helicopters that will shoot rockets at you eventually, so if you're in an armored Kuruma, you're going to die from the missile explosions, but the half-track takes 27, so you'll be entirely fine. But first, we have the tanker exiting on the road that you're entering from, and it's fine to have him run away a bit. You want to take the shots when you have a clear one and not rush them, because that's how you miss a ton of shots. And once the enemies in the cab are dead, you want to do the same thing you've been doing with the other tankers, take them to a secluded area, separate the cab, and blow it up. And now we're storming the base here, making sure to limit how much you expose the sides of the vehicle to enemies, because that's how they can shoot you. First one they'll take out is in the back here. Make sure the area is entirely clear before executing the strat. You don't want to have anyone die in the blast. There's some enemies hiding behind the trees here also, make sure you take them out. The next one has a lot of enemies around it. The half-track will protect you if you let it. There's a guy on the staircase that you can take out that's up top. And you will have to move the cab for this one as well, so make sure the area is as clear as possible before doing that. Moving on, the one at the very front, there's some enemies on the tower you should take out with some headshots from long range. There's also some explosive barrels up there. Do not shoot those. Shoot the enemies themselves. And when the coast is clear, separate the cab from the tanker and blow it up. And now for the last one. This one is a little bit tricky. There are enemies on both sides of the trailer, so you have to maneuver your way around to the other side to take out that guy. But at least you don't have to deal with a cab for this one. But yeah, the helicopters you won't have to worry about at all. There will be a lot of them shooting at you, but if they shoot rockets, it doesn't matter because you're in a half-track. If you want, you can shoot the passengers out the back of the choppers to give them a little bit less firepower, but overall, you shouldn't have to worry about them too much. And if you have to do this mission a couple times, one for the pistol challenge and one for the taking 50% damage challenge, it's not the end of the world. Because doing the mission without having to use pistols makes it a lot easier because you can just chuck sticky bombs at everything. And that will help out with the damage challenge too. And that's actually what I had to do. I had to do it multiple times because on the pistol run, I did take more than 50% damage. But for play to win, it's the pistol challenge that is causing people lots of problems. But trust me, this strat that I'm using here worked for me. And lastly, the final mission, cashing out. The hard part about this one is the stealth. Remember, we need to take out everyone at the ranch without alerting anyone for the tier 3 challenge, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And I found it was much easier to work your way towards the left-hand side, slowly taking out enemies and slowly getting towards the right. And the first enemies you're going to want to take out are the patrol vehicles. There will be a couple of them going around the premises. The patrols will spot dead bodies, so you can see why they're important to eliminate. This does take a lot of patience to do this. There's a lot of enemies to take out, and you don't want to make a mistake and have someone hear a shot because that's how you're going to go back to square one. I will say, though, the hardest part of the stealth is at the very end where you have this group of enemies at the front of the ranch with the cameras. And the reason it's tricky is because if you shoot the camera, the guard is going to hear the shot and he's going to get alerted, so you have to quickly take him out. But if you take out the guard first, then you have to quickly take out the camera because the camera is going to spot the body. And it's kind of hard to get a shot on them too. They're kind of hidden. So just be careful and only take a shot where you feel confident. Now you're probably wondering, how in the world are you supposed to take out Duggan's helicopter with only a pistol? Well, the Speedo Custom, of course. This makes very quick work of his chopper using the gun on top, which counts as a pistol apparently. Very nice. And you also shouldn't have to worry about taking any damage on this part either because you're doing stealth. So for cashing out, you should be able to do the damage one and the pistol challenge all in one go. Anyways, that should do it for the missions. As far as grinding out the 100 free mode casino missions, you will come to find out there are some very quick ones and some that are just a pain in the ass. For example, the one where you have to intimidate targets at each location for the chips. Do it just once so you can get the 13 different missions done, but if you get it again, put your spawn location to last location and just find a new session. It's much faster. The cooldown for the Baker missions is like 2 minutes or something. It's very quick, hardly noticeable. So 100 might sound like a lot, but you can grind them really fast because of the short cooldown while avoiding the really long missions. And that's going to wrap up this tier 4 challenge guide. I know this one was a tad bit longer than they usually are. The missions this time are just required a lot more explaining with the tactics you have to use for the pistol challenge. I hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, feel free to leave a like, as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA Online content. I want to give a huge shout out to all my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.